on this lovely Sunday afternoon. We are here with the Creating Transformers Fan Media on YouTube panel. I looked at that. Now I'm in a Discord channel. Just gonna. Hey yo.
We got one.
Oh, hey! I don't have to use Discord anymore because we're all ready to go. So, we are a bunch of folks who make media as fans of Transformers.
Late as always.
And I thought a good way for us to start would just be to do intros from down here over to here.
Hi.
Yo.
Nice to meet you. Is it? No. Oh. What? I'm joking. You just made me use high voice. You made me use high voice. Lower. Higher. Oh my.
Water.
Sorry.
Just like a little celebrity.
Yes. That's just so you can do the better yes, you know. That's all it'll be.
Who are you?
I don't know. Who are you?
Well, it's your chance to tell us something.
Oh, okay. Are we not getting these working, or do I have to speak very loudly?
Yeah.
Whoa.
They can hear you.
Whoa. Yo. Oh my God. I forgot how weird this is. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. So, are we starting up?
Yeah.
We start with me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, me?
You.
Me?
You.
Oh God, the pressure's on me, isn't it? Hi. So, my name is Samuel. I am also known as TFI Creations on YouTube. I've been doing fan films for the last 9 years. I also have the pleasure of having a bunch of my crew and friends here in the front row as well. Absolutely love all of them. Would not be here without their support. Some of you, if you know our work, we did a film called Transformers Interstellar back in 2019. We've been, again, doing this for the last 9 years, and because of that, I met these weirdos. Who are you?
My name's Common Cam, and I'm the British one.
Yeah, we insured because we were like, oh no, can we get paper plane down for Toronto? And it was like, we don't know if we can, but it's okay. We got another one.
You got me
from
instead.
over there.
British and Irish one. Yeah.
I'm from England too. I just don't have the accent.
You don't want it.
It's Tuesday, innit?
Good eye, mate. No,
So is it? There's Irish, there's Welsh, there's Derry, there's Northern. I try to keep track.
We've got too many. Honestly, we've got too many accents. I'm East Midlands, and I shift in and out all the time. Like when I'm with my friends casually, I'm like, all right, this. Like, hey up, you're all right. But when I'm like trying to do videos, you've got to be like this. Hi everybody and welcome. You got to actually have people understand you.
So you're a fake.
No, I'm trying to be more professional.
Yeah.
It's enunciating, speaking through the top palette. My name's Chris. I'm also Vangelus on the internet, and I make lots of medias, and then moved into freelance media making while still making lots of fan medias. And I like doing panels, and I like talking about medias. So it turns out that this is like an excellent panel, and I'm happy you all let me participate.
Hi, I'm Emperor Kumquat. I'm local around Canada, and I do a lot of analysis videos, especially on Transformers Prime.
Hi, I'm Ultra Primal, and I talk about cartoon episodes, and I say, "Aw, it's so cute," a lot.
So the first thing we're going to teach you about is the value of catchphrases. You can get them on T-shirts easy. You can get them on little fanny packs, lots of branded things. As long as you develop a strong catchphrase, you are basically set for riches.
Oh, I'm screwed.
There's your catchphrase.
Oh, I'm screwed creations. It's selling itself.
Well, it's, oh, I'm screwed, quote unquote, space, dash, TFI Creations 2023.
Boom.
C.
Someone make it.
What I thought would be kind of fun is kind of like back in LA. I thought it would be fun to do like 2 quick little just roundtable questions, get us all warmed up. And the first one I want to repeat from LA because I thought it was a fun thing to talk about, which is what's a comment you've received on your work that made you feel incredibly good? A really uplifting comment, some moment of communication from those who take in your media that made you feel like, yo, this is like worth it. Yeah, I did good. Because usually people talk about like the crappy comments they get, and I like to flip that a little bit.
Well, I think it's some of the best comments that we ever get are ones where people say that like what the team and I have done is inspire people to make their own fan films. Because some people will start making a Transformers fan film because they have an idea that they want to do, but then they'll look at their figures or their camera and think, I don't have the best equipment that this person does or that person does. And I want to show these people that that does not matter. As long as you have an idea and the inspiration to actually make it, it doesn't matter if you're using a phone or a small camera or even a red camera, it doesn't matter as long as you're having fun doing it. So when people comment saying, you really inspired me to make a film, I will always check it out, and I love seeing people's work. And like the TFI crew, we don't really do stop motion because I'm too lazy to figure it out. So we do more of like a live action sort of pseudo puppetry type thing that we don't even have a name for. A TFI motion is like the closest thing.
How did you do that stop motion though?
It was, what? It was like, it sort of looks like, if anyone has seen the final skits in like MGo's toy reviews, it's similar to that, but just not comedic. There it is. So when we adopted that more sort of puppetry live action, sort of Thomas the Tank Engine style as well, it was more just to make it easier to shoot, and that eventually became our style. So when people saw that, they're actually replicating it because stop motion is very hard to learn. So when people say they tried out our style, I'll check it out, and it's great work that these people are doing, and knowing that the team and I have been able to inspire these people to do that, and we see that in the comments. I sit there and I think, I couldn't ask for anything else. So that's that.
Have you ever seen Thunderbolt Fantasy?
Inform me on what that is.
It's the, oh, someone knows what it is.
It's like puppetry.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's a collaboration with Japan.
Yeah, it's the, whenever I think about like non-stop motion toy stuff, because I kind of messed around with that as well, and it's hard to figure out how to define it, right? Because most people watch it, that's why I was saying, most people will comment, what great stop motion, what programs did you use? And Thunderbolt Fantasy, I think, is like the biggest mainstream touchstone one can use to kind of explain that style of visual delivery, because it is like just action-oriented sort of puppetry. Puppetry is just like it's a weird way to put it, but I don't know how else you put it, because it's about cinematography, it's about moving the toys around, but it is not frame by frame. So you should check out Thunderbolt Fantasy.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I'll write that down.
When it comes to comments, it's always the comments that are like, you got me through this, you helped me out through this. Like recently I did a 6-hour ranking video of every G1 episode. I know. And it was like the most passionate project I've ever worked on, getting all these guys involved, and people who like watched that and like said, they watched the whole thing. It really lifts my heart that they were, one, able to put up with me for 6 hours. Like, that's pretty like, wow, okay, I'm glad I managed to pass the time for you. But like, even in person, like, this is obviously my first convention, and I've had so many people come up to me, like, saying really heartwarming things, saying that, like, I got them through tough times and all that kind of stuff, and just, like, wanting a photo with me enough is like, wow, okay, I hope I don't crack the screen. It's like, you want a photo with me? Really?
Yes.
It's like, it's heartwarming though, and it's not something I've quite experienced before. And it's really nice, because I like, when I think of subscribers, I think of more as like brothers and sisters or something. Like, it's like you're watching my content and I'm making you laugh, and that's literally my whole purpose. I just want to make people laugh, and that's really what it comes down to. Those kind of comments where I've made someone laugh through a tough time really makes me like, just wow, like kind of weep a little bit, because I like making people smile. I've always have enjoyed making people smile, and the fact that I was able to do that on YouTube, managed to, it really just warms my heart. So it's those kind of comments really that really stand out to me, and hearing them in person as well is just 10 times better, because you're not just reading off a computer screen. These are real people that are watching the videos, and it's extremely heartwarming. So that's all I got to say.
You're not going to tell us about your comments?
I'll go last because I started the whole thing. So I feel weird if I'm like, hey, let's talk about something. Now I'm going to talk about the thing. All right.
Oh, okay, I see how it is. Last time we answered this question, I talked about like the people who said that me being openly trans on the internet inspired them to think it's okay and start their own transitioning journey. But other things that are really uplifting are when people are so excited about your personal projects, and those kind of get you through it because you spend so much time doing it, like all day, every day, writing, drawing, planning, organizing. It's really tiring. So when you have people showing their excitement for you, it keeps you like fueled, and I really appreciate that.
So So, again, kind of repeating my answer from LA, a lot of it is, like Kumquat said, just people saying that me being trans helped them be comfortable expressing that they were trans. I even had someone message me yesterday just saying that, but also just in general, like people telling me that like my videos are what helps them like calm down, or it's like part of like their daily routine. It helps them makes them feel more comfortable because I guess they like my voice or something. But yeah, it's just trying to nurture that positive attitude on my channel, and just people receiving it and reflecting it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it was before I go, this is all reminding me. Anyone here watching in the audience, have you ever, not necessarily our stuff, but have you ever had like that kind of experience with online media where it happened to be the glue you needed to kind of like stick your way through a kind of sticky situation, keep the ligaments together? Hell yeah. Because that honestly is kind of like my own answer too, sort of mirroring a lot of what was said, is the most uplifting comments I've ever received are a mixture of like this, whatever you happen to do also happened to be the thing I needed for a really bad weekend or something. That and folks who have been watching me long enough to have like gone from being children to adults, which is screwed up. They honestly shouldn't have done that. They should have stayed children. It's a little insulting, frankly, that they decided to age in front of me like that. But
I was one of them.
I'm terribly sorry.
how could you do this to me? Honestly.
When I first started getting onto YouTube, I saw your reviews and I was like, I like this, man. And when I found out I'm on a panel with you, I nearly passed out.
I mean, thankfully, I figured out how to keep myself from aging, but that involves a whole lot of things that are very gray legal, except in parts of Europe.
Can you slide it like under the table, just the
No,
contact
it wouldn't
info?
fit, and it's really drippy. But
What?
Well, this was fun.
What panel is this?
this is. Look,
I just got here.
I got a little
Not
off
appropriate
topic.
for my audience, Chris.
I got a little off topic, but
Never meet your heroes, kids. Never meet your heroes.
the really nice one I always think of is someone I talked to in LA who said they'd watched my stuff, and then the way I was talking about enjoying toys got them to want to enjoy toys as well. And then basically, long story short, they went to school and now they work in the toy industry, and that's super freaking cool. So positivity is a good thing.
Yay.
Now I'm going to bring you a unique twist on negativity.
What? No. I thrive off of that. I mean, yay.
Not about anything that anyone did to you, but more so, just if you have, maybe you haven't, in which case you've led a very, very blessed existence. But just a quick moment when you've had like that ultimate negative experience with your equipment, with your setup, when you're like, this should all go swimmingly, and then everything falls over. Or this should all go, I should be able to film this toy like nothing, and then you get one drop of sweat flowing into your left eyeball every 90 seconds while you're trying to do stuff. Like just weird little equipment snafus that may have happened.
I could give you an endless amount of stories.
What, are you doing animation stuff or something?
You have, okay, so one of them happened on Friday. Yeah, they most of those guys were all there for it. So we're working on a live-action adaptation of the comic book Hearts of Steel, where all the Transformers are like trains and steampunk-looking aircraft. We have customs that are being made and such. So we were shooting a scene on Friday. We had all the tracks laid out, and we actually used little firecracker explosives to make it, look like the cons are shooting at them from above.
This sounds terrible.
Oh, you have no idea. It's all on camera, too. So the train was going, but the train tracks were on a bit of a slope, so the train would not make it past the turns too well. So we ignited the fireworks, and the train is going, and I'm looking at you, buddy.
The perpetrator.
One of the trains got stuck on a turn, so he gave it a bit of a nudge, which derailed the train. It crashed into the explosive and sat there while the explosive was going for 3 minutes beside the train. It is burned and singed, and it looked great on camera. It looked fantastic.
I really like how that part of the anecdote started with, so we ignited the fireworks.
Listen, don't put me anywhere near explosives or expensive figures. The worst will happen. I've broken DLX figures. I crashed my drone a few months ago. Like, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. But if it looks good on camera, it's worth it.
Sounds like a Michael Bay movie.
Thank you!
Michael Bay approves.
That's the best compliment I've ever heard.
You passed
Bam.
Michael Bay school.
Yes. Yes. But yeah.
That was a good one. I like that one. Yeah.
Toy trains blew up. So, looked great on
Sound
camera.
very negative, to be honest.
Oh no, I lost the customs. The customs broke. Oh no. That's great on camera.
We blew something up on Friday.
And I'm going to do it again.
Yeah, I have explosives left over.
Sometime in the last 72 hours.
The TFI Creations crew anonymously blew themselves up on a Friday afternoon when filming with their toy trains.
He's from the UK.
I am from the UK.
Tell me about it, yeah.
You're fired. But yeah, we broke a lot of stuff on Friday. So that, I mean, it was a negative thing, but we tried to use it in a positive light. It did look great on camera. It's going to go in the story. Don't get attached to these train characters, I'm telling you right now. So yeah, that's that.
Cam, have you blown anything up while trying to do a YouTube video?
Just my mind. Would be well, the thing is with me, I am terrible with equipment. Like when it comes, like I only learned like last year that drinking lots of water helps you sound better because obviously you can hear the spit and all that lot. I only cracked that one out. But when it comes to like equipment, like I use PowerPoint to edit my videos. You know what I mean? Not to edit my videos, to edit my thumbnails. So like I don't use Photoshop, but I make really good work of it. Like honestly, that's like my hidden secret.
I was like, I didn't know PowerPoint could do that.
Oh yeah, it can. Oh god.
If you want a free photo editing software, there's one online called Pixlr, Pixlr.
I'm upgrading. Thank you so much.
You can get a small subscription just so you can, pump out more downloads.
It took me 10 years, guys, and I finally made it.
You made it. You finally made it.
But that's the thing, though. I'm able to, like, I've used Sony Vegas, and I still don't quite understand the full extent of editing in terms of rendering. But when it comes to equipment, yeah, I've had loads of like hiccups. But I feel like I've made pretty good with what I've had over the years. People seem to still be sticking around for them. So
You made a 6-hour video.
yeah, I know. And there's more coming as well. People are like, are you going to do Beast Wars? Are you going to do Transformers Animated? And I'm like, already working on them. Don't get me. Yeah, it's
Make
like
sure
they're going to
you
be
hit me up.
shorter. It's not going to be 6 hours. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, if a passion's there, and it is, it doesn't matter what equipment you have. If you've got passion, no matter what, you can still find a way to make it work. So
5 hours, 59.
oh my god, yeah, I know. And the part about it is that when I finished it, I had to watch it all, and like I was like with my family and friends, I was like, "You ready to watch it?" And they're like, "No."
I think copyright was a problem.
Oh yeah, but then I managed to really get it all sorted. Yeah, I knew that was coming, but it all worked out in the end. So thank you to anyone who watched all of that. You deserve a medal. Yeah, that's the end of my story.
So what have you blown up?
I'm the
Actually,
status
nothing,
quo.
no. Well, I was trying to think. I was like, I don't even use much equipment, so what am I going to say? And then I realized the biggest challenge that I think we all face sometimes, Hasbro. You can spend like 40 hours making your own original content, editing, putting your face in it, and then Hasbro comes along and says, yeah, that's all mine. We're going to take all the money. And so you have to fight them, and they'll deny your dispute right away. And you're like, did you even read?
But Kumquat, what do you have to do when you have a copyright issue?
So I call him for help. I'm like, what do I write to win these arguments?
Better call Cam. Literally, like it's really nice helping you guys all though, because like it takes a while to figure out like how to use the right words, use the right phrases, but.
So what we did was now we have a script that he wrote and we pass it around to each other. So every time Hasbro copyrights us, they get the same thing, and they're probably like, how do they know what to say? It's from him.
It's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched a lot of Better Call Saul. I've learned a lot.
Yeah, so I mean now because of that we always like win back our monetization rights, which is great because you spend so much time, and for some of us it's most of our salary, and then Hasbro they just want everything that you make. So
We got one more chance for something to have exploded.
My computer.
That's bigger than a toy train.
But I didn't even think of what you said. That is a big thing. Like basically all my videos are like yellow.
Partially blocked.
Yeah, well, either partially blocked or like not monetized or whatever, or like all the monetization goes to Hasbro or Paramount or whoever. But I don't know if you guys realize, but like I upscale all the episodes that I review into like either HD or 4K because a lot of them are old episodes, and so like they're like 360p or something. So, and sometimes they take forever. Like, I remember when I was doing my movie review, I wanted to upscale the movie because they released the movie in HD, but they've never released like the full screen movie in like 4K, and I wanted to do that for this review, but my computer was just not having it. So I ended up just going with HD, but I've had so many times where videos just take forever to render. And it's like, why are you taking 8 hours to render a 10-minute video? But yeah, I think that's been my biggest frustration with making videos is just, I need to upgrade my computer, I think.
And in my case, because I started in like '08, I went through like sort of a generation and a half of hardware. So a lot of my biggest woes, thankfully, are behind me because they were from when I was using less nice equipment. So back in the day when it would be the classic, right, the toy review classic, where you sit down and you talk a bunch with a toy and a camera between you and the toy, and you try to do the whole thing in one take, and then you start moving on to like the arrival of third-party transforming toys, which were kind of new at the time and very complex masterpiece toys. You start having these things where you're trying to do a one-take video about something where the end result is going to be about 33 minutes long, and then you realize, wait, this is not tenable. I have sweat pouring down my brow. If I mess something up, I have to like restart part of this. And then in 2023, you go take a look around YouTube. There are still people doing it that way, and you want to just grab them. You want to grab them hard and go like, look, dog, just shoot in pieces. It's not that it makes it better. It's that it makes you feel better. Because you're not trying to one-take these things. But other than that, yeah, nowadays I'm thankfully in a place where my gear is not the problem. Now it's mostly just like the space, the workflow, etc. I guess this would be a good time. Is this a good time to throw to the video?
Yeah, we could do that.
Would this be a good time to throw to that little video clip?
Yep.
Hope everyone's doing well on this fine day at TFcon. So I couldn't be at the panel today because I promised my American friends I would take them down to Toronto City. So I am currently trying not to get stabbed on the TTC and survive the Toronto mans. But like, yeah. So sorry, I'm not. Are you?
Bro, Minerva just took a shelf dive.
But I wanted to say I hope everybody has a great time at the panel. I know these guys, whatever side they're on, I'm gonna go with that side. Let's hope I'm correct. These guys are great and they're gonna entertain you guys, and I hope you guys behave for them. Please. And I never know how to end these properly, so enjoy the panel, have fun, and wear deodorant.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Yay, toy.
That was our the toy guy, who, as he said, is not able to join us today because of Americans.
Yeah.
Darn those Americans.
Probably America. Think they own everything.
But yeah, unless we've got any other major topics on mind, it seems like we're around about the near halfway point. Does anyone? Well, it's 1:24.
Wow, that really
We're keeping
flew.
an eye.
Whoa.
It seems like a good time for perhaps if you have any Q&A, and what's really cool is we have a Q&A microphone right in the center of the room, so perhaps even an orderly
Yay.
queue could fashion, if there are enough people to form one, to roll into this microphone and ask some cues.
I love this guy's energy. He's the first one up.
Yep.
I have a question. Like, when could we expect to see the steampunk train thing come out?
Oh, Hearts of Steel?
Yeah.
We're currently in full production, but it came to a halt because a train blew up. But
Wait, what?
That happens a lot.
it's not the first time I've had to say that. But that one is going to take roughly a month and a half to film because there's a lot of stuff to figure out. Like pulling the trains on the track is the problem because sometimes the train will get stuck and the track will go with it. But we're working on that. That will release this summer. I'm hoping within, at most, 2 months, maybe a month and a half.
One last thing. What's your channel name?
My channel name is TFI Creations.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, fake question for TFI Creations. Have you seen the movie Super 8?
You know, I have not seen it, but I want to. Because I think, that if I recall, isn't there something about a train in there?
You basically described a scene from a movie. Actual question. Does it matter when you guys, like the time of day, time of week, when you guys publish your video?
I find it can have an effect. The thing is that it can have an effect, but there's no specific best time. You kind of have to just test a few times out. Like my go-to is usually that central little moment where it's the morning or afternoon on the West Coast, which means that over here in the East Coast is a bit nicer, but over in the UK it's not yet the next day. And then you kind of just say screw you to everything past that, I guess. Yeah, that's a good place to start for timing. I find just because that's like 3 major zones who are awake.
That time zone you described, can you put a number to that? Like
well, is time really a number, or is time kind of like a shape? Perhaps it's a spirograph. Maybe that's. Maybe there's going to be a panel about that at 3 o'clock.
Einstein said time was relative, right?
Yeah, I would say maybe 3 p.m. Eastern because that's noon Pacific and that's 8 p.m. Europe.
After school, got it.
Yeah.
Just to touch on that, I find that if you regularly schedule your videos to come out at a certain time, it'll kind of train your audience to expect a video at that time. So I don't know if that helps or not, but yeah, I find being regular helps the audience.
This is more of a question for Common and Cam, Emperor Kumquat, and Ultra Primal, but what is your process for scripted videos, video essays, media analysis, reviews? How do you take what you experience in a show and turn it into a video?
Well, when you say script, I have none.
What? You mean that whole script you sent me for every single thing I've been in yours was
No,
just,
when it comes to that 6-hour video, for example, half of that was off the tongue. I improvise my videos a lot. That's because I did drama at school. I can kind of work on the spot. When it comes to when you see a news report, for example, toy reports or a movie, I'm right, I'll just say it off the bat. I may mess up the lines a few times. I definitely say more than one line once, especially for that G1 video. I had to say the same line 5 times because I was either too tired or not energetic enough. But yeah, when it comes to scripts, they're pretty much non-existent. I'm more bullet point stuff. I bullet point things okay, I've got to mention this at this point and then that at that point. But yeah, no, when it comes to scripts, I think the closest video I ever came to really scripting, beat by beat, was the Armada Starscream video. Because that had to be just perfect. I had to articulate my words just right because that is it's more of an emotional video. It's more watching a character go through yin and yang and all that. But when it comes to G1 episodes, I'm not going to spend 5 hours working on a script for I don't know, God, think of a dumb episode in G1. The episode where, oh God, what was it?
Goes to Hollywood?
No, that one was quite easy because I managed to talk more about the live action movies, how it's kind of a parallel. The Hoist Goes to Hollywood is very similar to the Michael Bay movies. How it's well, not similar, but it's talking about the pros and cons. But when it comes to Carnage and Sea Manor, I did not want to talk about that episode. I hate that episode. So I just got my friend Daniel to just react to it and watch him just go through torture. Because I'm I am not talking about this episode. You're going to watch it. And he was just are we all like this? And they go, no, thankfully. Most of them are actually pretty good in quality. But Carnage and Sea Manor, no. But yeah, no, I mostly roll off the tongue with my videos. Unless if it's a passion video, like the Armada Starscream. Like I've got a Armada Optimus Prime video coming, talking about his death, how it impacted me, because everyone talks about the G1 death, but I grew up with the Armada death, and that has got to be an emotional video, because it's like, it destroyed me for 5 episodes, and then he came back.
Okay, I do scripts for all my videos, because when they're analysis videos and super specific, you want to get all your facts right and be organized, or else somebody's going to like pick on you when you speak too mildly and slip up or something. So I think of like an idea that I think would be really cool to share with people. There's a point I want to make, so then I'll write an entire script, and it could be like 10 pages or something. Give it a few days, you can add more in if you think of another fact, and while also doing that, I think of what pictures I'm going to put in, what screenshots maybe from like a book, like the quotes that I want to show on screen to back up what I'm saying. And then when that's all done, I edit it, and then I read that, trim the audio, and put in those pictures and videos, like the clips to support everything I'm saying, and that's it. Wrap it up with some music. And
I kind of have a similar process. Like I'll go through and I'll watch the episode, and as I'm watching the episode, I'll write the script, pause the episode, write the script, pause the episode, and I'll think of like what kind of jokes I can make in the review, and sometimes I'll like ad-lib lines or like think of something while I'm recording to put in, but most of it is like word for word. And like I'll review the script before I actually start recording, and sometimes I'll think of a joke or something afterwards, because I try to make my videos like funny and stuff like that. So sometimes I'll think of like, oh, I can set up the joke up here and then pay it off down here. But yeah, I don't have an ending.
I have a quick notion actually I could offer that might be helpful, because it's something I adopted when I started scripting my tour reviews. Something that I find really helpful is remembering no one but you sees the script. So write the script in a way that helps you, because it's there just for you. So like I'll use really weird punctuation specifically to help me know like how to structure how I'm saying sentences. Lots of extra commas, lots of just like line breaks, just so I can visually see it, so I'm not, because it doesn't have to be Oxford proper, right?
Yeah.
And like Cam was saying, if it is comfortable to you, no one sees your script, so if you suddenly feel like, oh, I can ad-lib a thing, just ad-lib a thing, you know? That's fine. Like when people start scripting, I found sometimes folks feel like, oh, I gotta get the script right, I gotta get this written correctly, and it's like, you're the only one who's gonna see it, so just write, make it a tool. Unless you're gonna release them in a book later, in which case, like, then get a ghostwriter to handle that.
I write over all my scripts. Once I'm done with the script, I replace it with the next one, so they're not
Oh, you
saved
just
at
have
all.
script.doc?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. I basically have like EarthSpark script, RescueBot script, all that stuff. I just change the content.
I do
Thank
like
you.
to pretty up my scripts though, because if they are perfect, is like you can just copy and paste all of that onto YouTube. There's like a transcript for subtitles option. It will match the words to your voice, so it takes like 5 minutes, and then I have full subtitles for people who can't hear or speak
Really?
English as a second language.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that's how you do that.
Oh,
Yeah, I just like,
Did you know?
if my script's like 4,000 words, I just copy it and put it on YouTube, give it like half an hour, and it matches it to my words.
I thought you had to time all that manually.
No.
Oh, no.
Not to go off.
Oh my God.
This algorithm for determining closed captions is actually really, so thanks, it's really strong. And in the current environment, it's a case of this is an algorithmic tool that's actually for the positive. It is what that stuff is meant to be for, is to accurately place rough timings, which you can then go in and edit. Like the words are in there for you to tweak. Like if it does get anything wrong, if you use the auto scripting, if you paste in your script and something gets futzed up, you can just move things around. It is a really shockingly strong tool for something built into YouTube. That was not your question, but
No, it's like actually helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe I should start doing that.
Hi there. I got 2.5 questions.
Which one's the half?
The one specifically for you.
I'm a half.
I should say fifth, I know, but it sounds better if it's 0.5 or whatever. Anyways, first question. Everyone in the content creation community learns from their mistakes, correct? So, personal question, what do you think is your worst video? And then for Vangelus...
All of them.
What is the worst figure you've reviewed?
Just quick, worst video. There's a video where I made a goatsy joke because I was 24 years old and incredibly emotionally immature. And I actually got my first angry private message about that. And I had it out with the guy in private messages about why it was fine. Don't do that. Nothing. You heard things. Nothing. Don't look it up. It's not for work. But yeah, that's probably the worst. Probably there's worse things, but that's always the one in my head where I'm like, that's probably the most recordedly immature thing I've ever done. Granted, the really immature part was in a or PM conversation. Doesn't exist anymore because YouTube doesn't have private messages. I don't know what happened to them all. They just disappeared one day.
Please don't look this video up, but we did a film. What are you? Why?
I'm just checking my email.
I just want to do it out of spite.
What? Anyway, so we did a film years ago back when we were doing the original series called Transformers Interstellar before we remade it. We did a little spin-off film called Blitzkrieg. Please no. It is one of the worst films that we have done because it just you do not have it up. I hope not. The story just it didn't make much sense. The filmmaking style, we were still learning ourselves, but just nothing about it was really all that great. Will you put it away? It is the one video I am.
Stop that to me later.
No, oh my God! It is the one film we've done that I am just not proud of. Like, I mean, I'm glad we made it because it was a learning experience. But I would rather set more trains on fire than willingly watch that film.
How is that a bad thing? I would rather set more trains on. I would rather eat lots of candy than have to do that other thing.
Because at least the trains on fire look cool. This film looks like.
There's something wrong with you, I think. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. So yeah, it's that one definitely for sure. Oh, he's got it up too. You're supposed to be my team, not my enemy. Oh, I love you too.
This is why I work alone. Is I don't have to
Yeah.
sit in the front row and go like, oh, the embarrassing thing. We got it up on 5 phones.
My worst videos, I am my own critic. Like, everything I do, I often have like little, not breakdowns, but like I just go, oh, I should have done that better. Like, I could have done that better. I would say the early work, the really early work that is no longer public. Before Transformers, I used to do comedy sketches with my friend Daniel. He was actually at the channel at the beginning. We used to just do comedy videos of like, I don't know, like, there's loads of duo acts like Ant and Dec and all those kinds of like double acts, and we used to do stuff like that. And looking back on it, it was terrible, And I would say Transformers wise, it's always those videos that are like just news reports, and it's like editing wise, I feel like I could have just made it a little bit more. I don't know, more fancier instead of it just being picture. I'm much more proud of the content I do now. I've been doing YouTube for like 11 years, and I feel like only now I'm happy with the stuff I'm making, because I look back 2 years ago and go, what was I thinking? Yeah, that's me.
So my turn. What exactly was the question again?
Your worst video?
Worst video.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe like, of course, everyone will say their early videos, because you know what I did for my first video is I wrote that script, the whole script, and then I took out my phone, read it into the phone, and then uploaded that audio with no editing whatsoever, no like noise reduction, like the background noise. I just did that. And I also didn't know about the subtitle features on YouTube, so I spent like 15 hours handwriting everything and putting it into the video itself. It's that video about like Starscream. It was my first video. I only made that video because I had a partner who said like, oh, Starscream's not like abuse or anything in the show, and I was like, bet. And so then I wrote like a 10-page essay, and then I recorded it, put the video together, and sent it to him first. But then people actually started liking that video, so then I was like, okay, I'll do another one about Viacons, and it just rolled from that. So it's not like it was a bad thing. I'm not going to take down that video, but when I look at it, I cringe really hard.
Yeah, like you guys said, all my worst, cringiest videos are from when I started, and they're all private now because they're like from, God, maybe 10 years ago when I first started trying to do YouTube. But of the more recent Ultra Primal era, I remember how, so like I have like my character on the side and stuff, and I remember there was one video where I must have been like super tired, and I just forgot to change her pose like part way through the video, so she's just like stuck in this pose for the entire video, and she doesn't change. And that went up on YouTube, and then I started getting comments like, Ultra, why are you frozen? It's like, oh no.
My back hurts.
Luckily, I think that video was the Immobilizer episode, ironically enough. So it kind of makes sense.
Well, that's convenient.
You just you meant to do that.
Yeah, it was in your brain.
It was a happy accident.
The joke clearly went over your head, actually. The worst toy I reviewed, I usually think of it less in terms of the toy and more in terms of the process of making the video. And it's kind of a toss-up. There was a time I tried to start reviewing Tenkai Nights, and the company that made them sent me review copies, and then like somehow that added a little bit of pressure made me realize like I don't think I actually really like going descriptive on these things. I just think they're neat.
Those are the like
transforming Lego bricks.
Lego bricks, yeah.
Oh, they weren't third party. They were by fine Canadian company Spin Master, with Johnny Young Bosch in the anime. It's Lego bricks that turn into people. The whole thing's gone.
They did a crossover with How to Train Your Dragon, if I remember. So that's,
same tech.
Yeah,
it's
and Pokemon even.
Yeah, it's between that and unfortunately, just like SH Fig Arts, I found I don't have much to say about them, and so whenever I've tried to make videos about them, I feel like I'm forcing about 70% of the video. I'm still working that one out because I like to film them more. I just don't really have much to say because in a lot of cases it's just like, is there a break point and is the articulation limited? They look good.
Right.
So yeah, that's kind of.
That's some good insight. Second question, a lot faster. Who's your favorite Seeker? Bonus points if you don't say the main three.
Raider Ion Storm. He's the most powerful Seeker, as proven in the Transformers TCG, which you can still play over at a room by the South Tower elevators. He is the burliest of all the Seekers. He's the most scary of all the Seekers in the TCG. He's scary in Limited. He's scary in every format. Raider Ion Storm, by far.
Does Bumblebee movie Blitzwing count? Because technically he was kind of a Seeker in that one, and I love that design.
Do you mean Starscream?
No, it was Blitzwing. Fine, he was Red Wing. We'll go with that.
Hockey fan.
When it comes to, I guess, more Conehead, I always like Dirge because he gets bullied so much. Like in the G1, I noticed when I was ranking every episode how much like bullying Dirge got. You know, I kind of empathize.
He's my least favorite.
Yeah, I literally bought the figure of him, the latest figure of him, just because of watching his torture throughout the show. So I'd say Dirge.
If I'm not allowed to say Starscream, am I allowed to say Overlord's top half? Does that count as a Seeker?
Yes.
I'm just saying you get bonus points.
Oh, then I'm sorry. I have nothing for you.
Transformers masterpiece.
You could have said like Acid Storm or no. I like Slipstream, like specifically Cyberverse Slipstream, and I'm so upset that she got murdered.
Yeah. My personal favorite's Thrust, anyway. Thank you very much for doing this panel and all. I love most of the main three's work. Never heard of you, but you seem awesome.
Thank you.
Never heard of you either. But I'll watch your videos
Very honest.
later.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for doing all of this. Have a good day.
I'll throw you a business card.
I also don't recognize a lot of you. The only person I recognize is Emperor Kumquat.
Probably for the best.
Should we just leave? Bye.
I recognize some names, but no faces. I watched your TFcon video where you talked to Alex Milne. I watched that literally the night before I came to TFcon. It made me laugh. Thank you. But I actually had a question about Mercy, because I noticed. I don't know. if you're willing to talk much about it for spoiler's sake, but I was curious about your decision to make some of the bots, some of the traditionally male bots, female. Because I did notice, I think Tarn and
Yeah,
Kaon,
Tarn,
right?
Voss. No, not Kaon,
No,
but Tarn,
which one?
Voss, and Helix. Yeah, I gender
Voss,
swap a
right.
lot of characters.
I was curious
yeah.
what influenced that. Like what?
Well, obviously everybody knows there's like a lot of male characters and so few female characters, and you can do whatever you want whenever you have your own continuity. Like you look at what Cyberverse did; they made like Cosmos and some other characters. Skywarp was it?
Skywarp?
Yeah, Skywarp female. So why not do that? I mean, you have to free them every time you start a new continuity. You can change things up. Also, the new IDW comic series that just ended, like the 2019 one, half the cast was female. You can do that. It's not that they gender swap though. They threw in some new characters. And I also like the vibes. Like I was thinking of Tarn as like an female opera singer kind of vibe, and I thought that would be really cool. I also have non-binary characters and just characters whose designs like look different from what you would expect. Like I will put boobs and call a character male. I don't care. I'll do whatever I want because they're robots. Whatever. I love putting like the diversity in my work.
That's cool. That is really cool. Because I remember when I first discovered your most recent video about Transformers Mercy, blew my mind. I still have yet to play it, but I don't really have any much else to say. Just that it's really, really cool, and I do look forward to actually
Thank you.
playing through it.
For everyone who doesn't know that, it's like a Transformers Prime Choose Your Own Adventure game that starts right after the end of Predacons Rising. You play as Predaking because you're like a new character who's moldable, so you can be as evil as you want, as nice as you want. The game is quite violent, though, so I have to put like a warning at the start of the game for the death and the gore and the cannibalism and all that good stuff. Yeah.
Cannibalism?
My
favorite.
Sign me up.
You have involved the DJD.
Yeah, the DJD is going to be there. There's like several different paths and stories, so it will take me like 10 years to make it, but yeah.
I
Thank you.
admire your commitment.
Thank you.
Anyway, thank you so
I
much.
should mention we have just under 10 minutes left.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much.
Rapid fire. Yeah.
Listen to the Sunder song. It's really good.
Hi. Sorry, I just first, Ember Conquat, I really love your content. Sorry. But yeah, just general, does anyone have any general tips on like voicing and everything, on projection? Because I'm an aspiring voice actor and all that.
Yeah, one thing that is a really easy one to do is, you mentioned it before, is stay really hydrated.
Yeah.
I just did a gig doing kind of an audiobook thing, which involved about like 15, 18 hours of recording. And the one thing that helped me was water, a hot tea with honey in it, and also not recording for more than 30 minutes at a time and making myself stop for a good hour or two. Other than that, as far as techniques, I really like to share, Gary Chalk had something, it's in one of the TFcon panels you can watch from years ago, about resonators, where if you project your voice, try aiming your voice at different parts of your throat, your face, your head, and that can create different tones, different voices you can use, whether or not you kind of tighten your throat to get a little bit harder like that. And also just the one other thing I found is figuring out how to loosen your throat can also really help get sounds out that might otherwise just be getting stuck, and help the sound just flow out. Because the worst thing you can do is be tense, because that will tighten and make tired your vocal cords. And then the worst thing about that really is that you then lose the ability to record for a bit, because you got to wait for them to heal up and recharge. Other than that, just getting a nice mic. People always go like, oh, Blue Yetis, but also they're everywhere, so it's fine. And then from the script reading thing, stay about that far away from the mic at first. Make one of those, go like here. And if you can, grab a pop filter. People, again, they always say you can make one. You can also buy one for like $15, and that skips a whole step. And I kind of go off a little bit about that, but.
You can make one of pantyhose and an old metal coat hanger.
Yeah, I tried doing that, and then I messed it up. And I went to try doing it again, and eventually I was like, I'm buying pantyhose and coat hangers to make pop filters.
just buy?
I could just buy a pop filter.
I was gonna say quite quick. I find it's because like for some of our films, I do a lot of voice acting for it as well. I find just experiment with your voice, see what you can do. Like start maybe trying some impressions because 10 years ago I recently discovered that I could do a pretty good crosshairs from Age of Extinction. So that just came out naturally because I was in pain, and then it kind of just I was like, hey, I can do that kind of voice. So like experiment with your voice, see what you can do with it, and just
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, impersonations that miss actually is like the root of a lot of really just cool voices. I highly recommend it. Also, just like if you have an empty place to do it in, just sit around making funny voices. Like I like just doing G1 Megatron voices, saying funny things like I want a pretty birthday party with pretty party hats and big shiny balloons, and like just wandering around my kitchen doing that while I wait for my toast to toast up.
I'll do it for you, Lord Megatron. Just stop hitting me.
Like apparently I have neighbors, but like I never talk to them, and so it also like makes them leave me alone.
That's why these guys go to therapy, by the way. They're in an insane asylum. All of us are. I'll just wrap off really quick. Yeah, like as a drama student, I learned a lot about like tone of voice. Like tonally, I've been told I have a very depressing voice. But then suddenly, I can be like I'm actually happy. Like I'm actually like laughing and joking and stuff. It depends. Like if you're playing a certain character, some YouTubers will have a persona. I don't like to really go that route. I kind of like mix both. For both worlds, the persona, like the light-hearted, like kind of voice, and then also a bit of me, because you got to know it's me. Like you know my tone of voice, you know my kind of humor. So like kind of make a little balance between this like more professional kind of like version of you, and then this like genuine part of you as well. So yeah.
Awesome.
And obviously as a trans woman, finding your voice is trickier. And I had to do like a lot of warm-ups and just exercising my voice. Like even if you're not trans, like I recommend looking at like trans voice lessons videos on YouTube, just because they teach you really good like warm-up things. There's like one where you like hold here and then just go like and just like stuff like that. Just like flexing, like it's like a warm-up. It's literally like if you're working out, you have to warm up your muscles. You're flexing your throat because it's a muscle. But definitely the Gary Chalk thing, I would recommend watching that because that helped me find my own voice.
Also, I remember this one. Raise eyebrows and like move your jaw around, and notice how it alters the inside of your neck. Like it all affects it. Like it's kind of interesting. You also look really funny when you do it. So stand in front of a mirror and.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
All right.
Yeah, we've got time, I think, for maybe, one or two more?
Yeah, we can finish them off, probably.
Do you have any quick tips on search engine optimization and hashtagging to make my content
use them all.
funny?
That's my recommendation. Because the thing about SEO is it's so liquid that if you can think of a few things to do them. But don't put too much time into it, in my opinion, unless you're like really well trained in it. Because by the time you've learned it from the ground up, it will have changed, is my experience. So like, if you're doing like something about Transformers, action figure, toy, mecha, robot review, Transformers, Autobot, Decepticon character name, and then,
And do misspellings and stuff like that.
Thank you.
All right. What's your favorite video you guys have made?
Favorite videos? So
Sorry, can I not speak in the microphone? Here?
So I have to narrow it down to two videos. There's a film that we released earlier this year. We did a film called Maverick Danger Zone, which was a Transformers Top Gun crossover. And the year before that, we did a film called Jurassic Spark, which was a Jurassic Park Transformers crossover. And the people I worked on with those films, it was such a good time making those films. And the Maverick film was like a new, almost experimental film, because all the flying scenes were shot with a drone. So all the flying in the clouds, below the ravine, under bridges was all real, like flying, despite the fact that the toys themselves were just toys on a green screen.
Is that why you crashed it?
That is what I crashed it on one of those shoots. Yes, no one got hurt much, but. So yeah, definitely Maverick Danger Zone and Jurassic Spark are my two favorite projects that I couldn't pick which one I prefer the most though.
I feel like mine's pretty obvious. The Armada Starscream video, and also the G. It's like I always go backwards and forwards, either Armada Starscream or the G1 video, because they're the ones where I put my heart and soul in.
I think my favorite videos are always just every time I do a fresh update on my game progress, and I get to like put all the art from the artists that I've collected in the last 3 months, and I'm like, wow, that is a lot that we got done. I hope people really like this. But personal video analysis projects, maybe the ones where I summarized like a Spotlight Megatron from IDW. It was called something like "The Saddest Starscream Story Ever, Fans May Cry," something like that. And people just like really got invested into that, so I was happy to have done it.
I like all the series that I review, but especially the ones where it shows that I haven't seen before. So ones like J-Decker or Rescue Bots, where I'm like coming into it fresh, and I get to have like my first reaction kind of recorded. So those ones are really fun. I also like the Armada ones because of the "Who's that mini-con" part, because those are fun to do.
Yeah.
My own right now is actually a recent one. I did a video about the core series Voyager Optimus Primal, and I had a bit of a breakthrough to actually get a dramatized sequence together that felt elaborate and active and satisfying to put together. And it kind of opened a part of my brain, so I've got like 3 more of those in the works for some of the other core series things. Just building off, the lore of Optimus Primal saying it takes 2 to come, and then you got Optimus Prime who rolls in. He's like, nobody should ever come alone. And I got a whole thing going on with that. Other than that, Rump Stick. You should look up Rump Stick. It's a video on YouTube that's on my channel. It's rumpstick.mpg. It's a lovely thing me and my roommate at the time made after a Nuit Blanche art thing in Toronto. It's very artistic and extremely mature.
It sounds mature.
So we have one more, it looks like. Last question?
Yes, I have one last question. Did Bulkhead survive that one explosion in Jurassic Spark? Like Shockwave survived? Is Bulkhead still alive?
Yeah, did you blow up something else? Or
Did you kill Bulkhead?
Spoiler alert, I cannot answer that question.
Okay.
I thought you meant the physical piece. I thought you meant, did you blow up another toy? Okay, I didn't know that was lore.
I just pull out the remains of Legacy Bulkhead, like, yeah. This is why characters don't return in projects we kill them off, because we literally blow up the figure.
I just want to say thank you all for and letting me take part in this panel with you all who are wonderful folks and coming out here and doing this wonderful thing. Thank you all for being wonderful people, listening to our panel, doing Q&A and everything, and being lovely folks. And definitely thank you, next panelist Ninjatron, who is, okay, I'm right this time, right? This is the panel that is years in the making. Yes. All right, if one of you stand up, I swear, Ninjatron will deal with it. Speaking of which, I actually have to go get a laptop, so I actually do have to stand up and go somewhere, but it's... You're
forgiven. Big round of applause, guys.
Oh, I'm clapping for, why am I clapping for myself? We're clapping for everyone. I'm clapping for you guys, yeah. And if anybody wants like stickers or magnets, anything like that, come find me with this bag. It's full of that stuff.
Ultra Primal merch.
Free merch.
Thank you all for being so warming and welcoming to me as well. This is the first time me flying, and it's just been great to see everyone together.
You better come back, Cam.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.